everyone, thank you for joining me, Princess Anise, here at Image of God, where we talk the walk by discussing the real about the journey to transformation, being transformed into the image of God, to be who He has called us to be and do what He has called us to do while reflecting His glory and being a light in the earth. I have been carrying a weight. And when I say weight, I mean burden that I believe that many of you may identify with, the kind of burden that just will not lift until you either confront or go forth with the things that God is demanding or requiring you to do. And so Image of God has been a burden, a weight that I have been carrying for many years, way before 2018, but I was wrestling with this assignment. I did not go forth with the fullness of this assignment for many reasons. I felt like I wasn't a complete work, and let's not even begin to discuss feelings of inadequacy and getting in my own way, in addition to situations and circumstances that were designed to set me back, delay me, muzzle me, and destroy me. But I am so glad that God turns everything that was meant for evil for my good. As the Lord began to unction me to go forth now in this season, in this very hour, the wrestling internally began also. And those same thoughts that I had prior began to resurface. And yet, God used the very things that discouraged me to encourage me. And here's a moment of transparency that I'm a little bit embarrassed to even admit, but it's the truth. I remember I put out videos and people would just comment, beautiful. I'm like, Lord, there has got to be more weight in this thing, that when people see my videos, they don't see me, but they hear you and encounter you. So therefore, I'm going to need your kabod presence in this thing. I'm gonna need your literal weight and glory to show up. And the Lord had to be real with me, like, Princess, how can you ask for my presence and glory to show up and not expect splendor and beauty to follow and be recognized? That even when Moses spent time with me, and this can be found in Exodus chapters 33 and 34, that when Moses spent time with me, he had reached a level of glory in me that caused there to be tangible evidence, literal evidence of an outer appeal where his face began to shine. And this manifestation, which was a representation of my likeness, had nothing to do with Moses, nor did it have anything to do with vain vanities or vanities of this world, but because my presence was with him. Moses put a demand on God's presence so that he would be able to carry out his assignment and his call, which was to lead God's chosen people on a journey of transition from one place to a place that God had called them to. To cease this wrestling, the Lord went even further and brought back to my remembrance a word that a powerful and profound woman of God and prophet commented in regards to the first Image of God needs soul care. And that word that she commented was beautification. And I'm gonna admit, even though I was familiar with the term and knew the definition and was familiar with it, I received it as that time as just a surface level, comment, because, as I stated before, I was, in my feelings about, how people would receive me and all they would see. But this time, when God brought it back up to me, He said, Princess, I want you to go back, go look again. Bring up that definition. I want you to read it. I want you to study it. I want you to dissect it. And I want you to catch the revelation. This word is quite weighty and not light at all. Yes, by definition, beautification is the process of improving the appearance of a person or place, but it wasn't until I got to Wikipedia that I caught the full revelation. Wikipedia states that beautification is a process of making visual improvements to a town, city, or urban area. This most often involves planting seeds, trees, and other greenery. as well as adding lighting and replacing broken pavements and foundations with brick or stone, fixing safety hazards. Beautification projects are meant to generate tourism. This process also includes large construction projects, especially in conjunction with transit. Being transformed into the image of God is a beautification process by allowing the Word of God to be seeded and planted within us, causing there to be growth and for us to bear good fruit, for others to pluck and taste and see that the Lord is good. In your community, in your town, in your city, in your state, in your spaces of influence, at your job, wherever God has called you to, we as believers should never forget that God is always doing a work within us and through us. And that work can easily resemble and be compared to that of a construction project. As we submit to this transformation journey that we are tearing down and demolishing our flesh daily and allowing our spirits to be built up in the presence of God. And it is there where we receive instruction on how to improve and how to go forth and who He has called us to be and do for His kingdom. Construction sites are not always concealed. And when they are, we still know that a work is being done because we can hear it. We see the materials, we see other tangible evidence that a work is being done. And this is so that many may be drawn to the transformative power of God. And that is what the tourism symbolizes. Your life is being illuminated so that those who don't know God may know Him. And so that those who do know Him may be inspired to go to deeper levels in Him and heights in Him. 2 Corinthians chapter 3 and 18 says, "But we all with uncovered faces, beholding as in a glass the glory of the Lord, are changed into the same image from glory to glory, even as by the Spirit of God." God does not want the work that He is doing in you to be concealed. He wants to get the glory out of what He is doing in your life. In the book of Esther, a selected group of women went through a beautification process, which was a period of preparation and purification that was necessary in order for them to meet the king. We as believers and the church are called the bride of Christ, and Christ is our King. This preparation and this journey of transformation is to prepare you to be ready to meet Jesus Christ, the King of glory, and for us to gather and encourage as many as possible to be prepared as well. The day of Jesus Christ is the ultimate level of glory. Philippians 1 and 6 declares, "I am confident that He who begun a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Jesus Christ." Let us be found in the process of being transformed into the image of God, preparing and purifying ourselves to meet the King of glory. It is His will that no one perish.